Paige Harlow was under a Porsche when her phone rang for the third time. She ignored it. Again. Whoever wanted her that badly could leave a voicemail. She was busy replacing a transmission on a car worth more than her annual income. The phone rang again. "Denny," she yelled from under the car. "Can you answer that?" "It's your phone." Denny yelled back from across the shop. "I'm busy." "So am I." The ringing stopped. Paige went back to work. 10 seconds later, it started again. She rolled out from under the Porsche, grabbed a rag, wiped her hands, and answered without looking at the caller ID. "Harlow Auto, this better be important." "Ms. Harlow? This is Andrea Fernon from North Shore Fleet Services. We spoke last week about the maintenance contract." Paige's brain scrambled to catch up. Fleet Services. Contract. She'd submitted a bid 3 weeks ago and heard nothing back. Right. Yes. Hi. We'd like to move forward. 6 vehicles, full maintenance, premium service tier. Can you start Monday? Paige sat up so fast she hit her head on the Porsche's undercarriage. Yes. Absolutely. Monday works. Perfect. I'm emailing the contract now. Sign and return by end of day. First vehicle arrives Monday at 8 a.m. Andrea paused. "Oh, and Ms. Harlow? The client is very particular. Everything needs to be perfect." Understood. Understood. After hanging up, Paige pulled up her email. The contract was already there. She opened it. Scrolled down to the client name. Her stomach dropped. Calabrese Enterprises. She stared at the screen. Read it 3 times. Hoped she was hallucinating from transmission fluid fumes. Nope. Still said Calabrese. No, 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 she muttered, scrolling through the rest. 6 luxury vehicles. Monthly retainer of $8,000. Exclusive service agreement for 12 months. That was $96,000. Over the next year. Guaranteed income that would let her fix the roof, upgrade equipment, maybe take Neve somewhere nice for her birthday. All she had to do was sign a contract with Vito Calabrese's organization. Vito Calabrese. The man she hadn't seen in 8 years. The man who didn't know he had a daughter. The man whose name appeared in news articles next to words like alleged and organized crime and under investigation. This was fine. Totally fine. Chicago was a big city. She'd work on the cars, he'd never show up, and in 12 months she'd have enough money saved to never think about him again. She signed the contract. Sent it back. Immediately regretted everything. That night, Neve sat at the kitchen table doing homework while Paige made spaghetti and tried not to panic. "Mom, what's 7 times 8? 56. Are you sure?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because you said 56 for the last 3 problems, and they can't all be 56. Paige looked over Neve's shoulder. "Right. Different problems. Sorry, baby. I'm distracted." "About what?" "Work stuff." Neve turned around, studying her face with those dark eyes that were way too observant for a 7-year-old. "You look worried." "I'm not worried. I'm just thinking." "About the new job." "How do you know about that?" "You told Denny this morning. I was sitting right there." Neve pointed to her usual stool in the corner of the shop. "You said it was a big contract and you were nervous." Paige really had to stop having conversations like Neve wasn't paying attention. "It's a good thing. More money. Nothing to worry about." "Then why do you look like that?" "Like what?" "Like when you have to do taxes." Paige laughed despite herself. "I do not have tax face." "You totally do." Neve went back to her homework. "It's fine, Mom. You always figure it out." The confidence in her voice made Paige's chest tight. 7 years old and already convinced her mother could handle anything. Paige really hoped she was right. Monday morning, Paige arrived at the shop at 6:30. She cleaned the entire workspace. Organized tools. Set up the bay for the first vehicle. Checked her appearance 3 times in the bathroom mirror, which was stupid because she was a mechanic and would be covered in grease within an hour anyway. At 7:55, a black Escalade pulled up. Paige's heart jumped into her throat. A driver got out. Young guy, early 20s, wearing a suit that looked uncomfortable on him. He walked in carrying keys and paperwork. "Ms. Harlow? I'm Matteo. I'll be dropping off and picking up the vehicles." He handed her the keys. "This is Mr. Calabrese's personal car. Full service, check everything." "Got it." Matteo didn't leave immediately. He looked around the shop, assessing. His eyes lingered on the security camera in the corner, the layout of the space, the exits. "You work alone?" he asked. "My partner Denny comes in at 9. "Good to know." Matteo pulled out his phone, took a photo of the shop interior. "For our records. Security purposes." Something about the way he said it made Paige's skin prickle. After Matteo left, she stood holding the keys to Vito Calabrese's car, and let herself breathe. Okay. Driver. Not Vito himself. She could work with this. She got to work. The Escalade was immaculate. Barely 20,000 miles, maintained perfectly, not a scratch on it. She did the full inspection anyway. Changed the oil, rotated tires, checked brake pads, tested every system. When she opened the trunk to check the spare tire, she found something that made her freeze. A lockbox. Heavy metal, bolted to the trunk bed. Not standard equipment. She didn't touch it. Didn't even look at it too long. Just checked the spare tire and closed the trunk. 6 hours later, Matteo came back to pick it up. "Mr. Calabrese wants to know if you found any issues." "No issues. Everything's perfect." "You checked the trunk?" Paige's mouth went dry. Just the spare tire. Everything looked good. Matteo studied her face for a long moment. Then nodded. "Good. Next car comes Wednesday. Range Rover." After he left, Paige sat in her office and put her head in her hands. She'd just seen something she wasn't supposed to see. And Matteo knew it. Wednesday, the Range Rover arrived. Same routine. Matteo dropped it off, Paige serviced it, tried not to look too closely at anything that wasn't strictly mechanical. This time when she opened the trunk, there was nothing unusual. Just standard cargo space. Friday, a Mercedes sedan. Clean normal, no lockboxes or surprises. Week 2, a BMW. Another Escalade. A Porsche that made Paige's hand shake because it was worth more than her entire shop. 2 weeks of this. 2 weeks of servicing Vito Calabrese's fleet without seeing him once. Paige started to believe maybe the universe was being merciful. Maybe he was too busy running his empire to visit a small auto shop on the west side. Week 3, Tuesday morning, Neve's school called at 10 a.m. "Ms. Harlow? Neve's not feeling well. Can you pick her up?" Paige looked at the Mercedes she was halfway through servicing. "How not well?" "Low fever, headache. Nothing serious, but we can't keep her here. I'll be there in 20 minutes. She grabbed her keys, told Denny to watch the shop, and drove to the school. Neve was in the nurse's office looking miserable. Paige felt her forehead. Warm but not terrible. "Come on, baby. Let's go home. I don't want to miss school." "You have a fever. You're missing school." Paige signed her out. "We'll watch movies and you can sleep on the couch. Can I come to the shop instead? I'll be quiet." Paige hesitated. Neve at the shop meant Neve around expensive cars that belonged to dangerous people. But Neve's eyes were pleading and she really did look miserable. "Fine. But you stay on your stool. No wandering. No touching anything. Promise." They got back to the shop at 11. Paige set Neve up with blankets, juice, and her tablet loaded with movies. Neve curled up on her stool and immediately fell asleep. Paige went back to work on the Mercedes. At noon, she heard the front door open. "Matteo, just leave the keys on the desk," she called out without looking up. "I'm not Matteo." Paige froze. She knew that voice. 8 years later and she still knew it. She rolled out from under the Mercedes. Vito Calabrese was standing 10 feet away, hands in his coat pockets, looking exactly the same except older. Sharper. Harder. The kind of hard that came from making decisions other people couldn't live with. He was staring at her like he'd seen a ghost. Paige. Her name and his voice made her chest hurt. Vito. They stood there in silence. 4 seconds. 5. 6. Then he said, "You're the mechanic?" "I'm the mechanic." "I didn't know. The contract just said Harlow Auto." I didn't make the connection. His eyes moved over her face, cataloging changes. "You look good." "Thanks. You look dangerous. Powerful. Like someone who could ruin her life with a phone call." "Busy." "I am." More silence. This was excruciating. Then Neve coughed from her stool. Vito's eyes snapped to the corner. To the small girl bundled in blankets, still asleep, dark hair falling across her face. He went completely still. Paige's heart stopped. Vito walked closer. Slowly. Like he was approaching something that might vanish if he moved too fast. He looked at Neve. Really looked. Those dark eyes, the shape of her face, the way she frowned even in sleep. Then he looked at Paige. "How old is she?" Paige's throat was too tight to answer. "Paige. How old?" 7. She turned 7 in March. Vito did the math. She watched him do it. Watched the moment it landed. "Is she mine?" Paige nodded. Welcome to Honeybee Mafia Tales. If you love dangerous romance and family secrets, hit subscribe. You won't want to miss what happens next. The garage was so quiet she could hear traffic 3 blocks away. Vito looked at Neve again. His daughter. Sleeping 6 feet away, completely unaware that her entire world was about to change. When he spoke, his voice was controlled. Too controlled. "You were pregnant. 8 years ago. You were pregnant and you didn't tell me. I tried to tell you. You were gone. Your phone didn't work. I went to your building and they turned me away." "Who turned you away?" "Security. 2 guys in suits. They wouldn't even let me pass the lobby." Something crossed his face. Recognition. What did they look like? Big. Intimidating. Professional. Paige crossed her arms. "They said you weren't available and I needed to leave. One of them followed me to my car to make sure I actually left." Vito's jaw tightened. That was my uncle's doing. He was handling security back then. Screening visitors. His hands curled into fists. "He never told me you came. So you just, what? Decided to raise her alone." "I was told you were informed. My mother said she had someone reach out. Said they told you I lost the baby." Rage flashed across his face. Real, dangerous rage. "I never heard anything. No one contacted me. No one told me you were pregnant or that you lost the baby or anything. I know that now. 8 years, Paige. I have a daughter who's been alive for 8 years and I didn't know." He turned away, ran a hand through his hair. When he turned back, his voice was quieter. Deadlier. "Does she know about me?" "No." "Does she ask?" "Sometimes." "What do you tell her?" "That her father couldn't be here. That it's complicated." "Complicated." He laughed, bitter. "That's one word for it." Neve stirred. Opened her eyes. Saw Paige first, then noticed the strange man standing in the middle of the shop. "Mom." Her voice was small, confused. "It's okay, baby. This is a client." He stopped by to check on his car. Neve sat up slowly, blanket wrapped around her shoulders. She looked at Vito with the same intense observation she used on everything new. Vito looked back at her, and Paige watched his entire face change. Soften. Break a little. "Hi," Neve said. "Hi." Vito's voice was gentler than Paige had ever heard it. "What's your name?" "Neve." "What's yours?" "Vito." Neve considered this. "That's a cool name." "Thanks. Yours too." She smiled a little, pleased. Then she looked at Paige. "Can I have more juice?" "Yeah, baby. I'll get it." Paige stood up, legs shaky. Vito was still looking at Neve like he was trying to memorize every detail. Paige got juice from the mini fridge, brought it over. Neve took it, drank half in one go, then curled back up in her blankets. "I'm tired," she mumbled. "Then sleep. I'll wake you when we go home." Neve's eyes drifted closed. Paige turned to Vito. "We should talk. But not here." "When?" "I don't know. I need time to figure out how to." "When, Paige?" His voice was firm. Not angry. Just absolutely certain that this conversation was happening, whether she was ready or not. The dangerous kind of certain that reminded her exactly who she was dealing with. "Tonight. After I put Neve to bed. I'll call you. I'll wait for your call." He pulled a card from his pocket, wrote a number on the back. "My personal cell. Don't make me wait long." He walked to the door, then stopped. Looked back at Neve one more time. "She's beautiful. She looks like my mother." Then he was gone. Paige stood in the middle of her shop, holding his card, watching her daughter sleep, and felt the ground shift underneath everything she'd built. Outside, she heard Vito's voice. Sharp. Commanding. "Matteo. Get over here. Now." A car door opened. Closed. "Who gave you permission to take photos of the shop interior?" "Boss, I was just." "You made her uncomfortable. You violated protocol. This is a legitimate business relationship. You treat her with respect or you don't come back." "Understood." "Understood." "And Matteo?" "Find out who was working my uncle's security detail 8 years ago. I want names. Every single one." Paige realized Vito knew she could hear him. Realized he wanted her to hear him. Wanted her to know he was already handling things. Paige called him at 9 p.m. Neve was asleep finally, after asking 12 questions about the nice man at the shop and why Mom seemed so weird all afternoon. Vito answered on the first ring. "Where do you want to meet?" "No hello. Just business. I can't leave Neve alone. Can you come here? Text me the address." He hung up. 20 minutes later, there was a knock on her door. Paige opened it. Vito stood in the hallway of her apartment building, looking completely out of place in his expensive coat and polished shoes. Behind him, 2 men in suits stood at the elevator. "Security. They stay outside," Paige said immediately. Vito glanced back at them. "Wait in the car." "Boss, we should." "Wait. In the car." The men left. Vito stepped inside, looking around. Small living room, tiny kitchen, Neve's backpack on the couch, toys in a basket by the TV. A life he knew nothing about. Paige gestured to the kitchen table. "Sit. Want coffee or something?" "No. I want answers." She sat across from him. "What do you want to know?" "Everything. Start from the beginning." So she did. She told him about the pregnancy test 3 weeks after he disappeared. About calling his number and getting nothing. About showing up at his building and being escorted out by security before she could even explain who she was. Describe them again. The security. Every detail you remember. Paige closed her eyes, tried to pull it back. One was tall, maybe 6'3", bald, had a scar on his neck. The other was shorter, stocky, dark hair, wore a ring on his right hand. Looked like a college ring or something. Vito pulled out his phone, scrolled through photos. Showed her one. Him. Paige's stomach dropped. "Yes. That's the tall one. Marco DeLuca. My uncle's head of security. He's dead now. Got himself killed in a territory dispute 3 years ago." Vito swiped to another photo. "What about this one?" "That's the other one. The one with the ring. Tony Greco. Still works for my uncle. Or did, until 6 months ago when the feds started circling." Vito's voice was ice. "They were both my uncle's men. Not mine. I didn't know Severio was screening my personal visitors. Didn't know he was turning people away. Why would he do that? Because 8 years ago, I was being groomed to take over the family business. The real family business, not the legitimate side. My uncle wanted me focused. Committed. A pregnant girlfriend didn't fit the plan." He set his phone down. Keep going. She told him about her mother. About Willa going quiet when Paige was 4 months along. About the conversation they'd had when Neve was 2 years old, when Willa finally admitted what she'd done. She paid someone? Vito asked. She knew someone who knew someone. Made a call. Passed along a message that I lost the baby. Paige's voice stayed steady, but her hands weren't. She thought she was protecting me. Thought your family was dangerous. She was right. My family is dangerous. Are you? Dangerous. Vito leaned back, studying her. You want the truth or the version that makes you feel better? The truth. Yes. I'm dangerous. I run legitimate businesses, but I also manage other interests. Things my father and uncle built that I can't walk away from without consequences. I don't hurt innocent people. I don't deal in anything that destroys lives. But I'm not clean, Paige. I won't lie to you about that. Paige's chest tightened. What kind of other interests? Protection services for businesses that can't go to the police. Financial consulting for people who need money moved quietly. Import and export that sometimes bypasses official channels. He paused. I've been trying to transition everything to legitimate operations. It's why my uncle and I have been at odds for years. He thinks I'm going soft. I think he's reckless and bringing heat we don't need. Is he? Bringing heat. Federal investigation started 6 months ago. Money laundering, racketeering, conspiracy. They're building a case against him. Against anyone connected to his operation. Vito's eyes were hard. I've been cooperating. Quietly. Giving the FBI what they need to take him down while keeping myself and my people clear. You're turning on your own family? My uncle isn't family. He's a liability. And he kept my daughter from me. Vito's voice went cold. For that alone, I'd burn his entire operation to the ground. Paige believed him. When you found out the truth, Vito continued, when Neve was 2, why didn't you come to me then? This was the part she'd been dreading. Because I looked you up. Saw you were married. Saw the wedding photos, the life you'd built. I wasn't going to show up with a toddler and destroy all of that. That wasn't your decision to make. I know. She met his eyes. I've known that for 5 years. I've lived with it every single day. You don't need to tell me I was wrong. Vito was quiet for a long moment. What's her full name? Neve Harlow. Not Neve Calabrese. She doesn't know you exist. I couldn't give her your name. He flinched like she'd hit him. Does she ask about me? Sometimes. I tell her you didn't know about her. That it's complicated. What is the whole truth, Paige? Because I'm still trying to figure it out. He leaned forward. Did you want me to know? Ever? Of course I did. I wanted you to know from the beginning. I wanted, she stopped herself. This wasn't about what she wanted 8 years ago. It doesn't matter what I wanted. We're here now. You know. So what happens next? I want to be part of her life. I know you do. Is that a yes? Paige took a breath. It's a yes. But we do this carefully. She's 7 years old. She's had a stable, quiet life. I'm not throwing her into your world without protecting her first. What does carefully mean? It means we tell her together. We explain it in a way she can understand. We introduce you slowly. We don't append her entire world overnight. Paige paused. And Vito, your wife, does she know you're here? His expression closed off. No. Are you going to tell her? Eventually. Not yet. She's going to find out. Especially if you start spending time with Neve. I'll handle Camille. That's not your concern. It is my concern when it affects my daughter. Our daughter. The words hung in the air between them. Right, Paige said quietly. Our daughter. Vito stood up, walked to the window, looked out at the street below. His security was down there somewhere watching. I missed everything. First steps, first words, first day of school. Everything. I know. You don't know. You were there for all of it. I was 40 minutes away living my life like she didn't exist. He turned around. What's she like? Paige smiled a little. She's smart. Too smart. Observant, stubborn, asks a million questions about everything. She loves books and hates math. She's obsessed with space, thinks Saturn is underrated. She's kind to everyone but doesn't trust easily. She's careful. Paige paused. She's careful because I taught her to be. Because it's been just us for 7 years and I needed her to be safe. She looks like my mother. You said that earlier. My mother was the only person in my family who wasn't part of the business. She kept me human. Kept me from becoming what my father and uncle wanted me to be. His voice went rough. She died when I was 16. Car accident. At least, that's what we were told. You don't believe it was an accident? I stopped believing in accidents a long time ago. He turned back to face her. When can I see her again? Actually talk to her, not like today. Give me a week. Let me figure out how to tell her. Then we'll set something up. A week is too long. Vito, she's been alive for 7 years. You can wait 1 more week. He didn't like it, but he nodded. Fine. 1 week. Then I want to meet her. Properly. Okay. He pulled out his phone. Give me your number. Your real number, not just the shop. She recited it. He typed it in, called her immediately so she'd have his. Don't ignore my calls, he said. I won't. He stood to leave, then stopped at the door. Paige. Yeah. I'm going to have someone watch your building. Not intrusive. You won't even know they're there. But with everything going on with my uncle, with the investigation, I need to know you're both safe. I don't need protection. You do now. You're connected to me. That makes you a target. His voice was firm. This isn't negotiable. Vito. My daughter sleeps in this building. In an apartment with locks I could pick in 30 seconds. In a neighborhood where your security is one elderly doorman who falls asleep at his desk. He stepped closer. I will not take chances with her safety. Or yours. So yes, you're getting protection whether you like it or not. Paige wanted to argue. But he was right. She'd seen enough news articles about his family to know being connected to them was dangerous. Fine. But they stay outside. I don't want Neve seeing strange men hanging around. Agreed. He opened the door, then paused. Thank you. For raising her. For doing it alone when you shouldn't have had to. His voice was rough. She seems happy. That's because of you. Paige's throat went tight. I did my best. It shows. After he left, Paige sat at the kitchen table for a long time, staring at nothing. 7 years of secrets. 7 years of managing alone. And now Vito Calabrese was back in her life whether she was ready or not. She checked on Neve 1 more time. Still asleep, curled up with her stuffed elephant, completely unaware that everything was about to change. Completely unaware that her father was one of the most powerful and dangerous men in Chicago. Paige sat on the edge of the bed, smoothed Neve's hair back. It's going to be okay, she whispered. I promise. She wasn't sure if she was talking to Neve or herself. The next morning, Paige dropped Neve at school and went to the shop. Denny took one look at her face and said, What happened? Long story. We got time. First car doesn't arrive until 10. Paige made coffee, sat on the workbench, and told him everything. Well, not everything. Not the part about Vito being involved in organized crime. Just that Neve's father had shown up after 7 years and wanted to be involved. Denny listened without interrupting. When she finished, he said, What are you going to tell Neve? The truth. Just a kid-friendly version of it. When? This weekend, I think. Give me time to figure out how to say it without making it sound like her father is, she stopped herself. Is what? Complicated. Paige set down her coffee. He's complicated, Denny. His life is complicated. And I'm about to let Neve into that. Is he a good guy? The father. Paige thought about that. Thought about Vito's controlled rage when he talked about his uncle. His willingness to cooperate with the FBI to take down his own family. His immediate concern for Neve's safety. His admission that he was dangerous. I don't know anymore. He was, 8 years ago. But people change. Power changes people. And he has power. More than I understood. Denny was quiet for a moment. You're scared. Terrified. Of him. Of what being part of his world means for Neve. For us. Then don't let her be part of it. You can co-parent without giving him full access. He's already putting security on our building, Denny. He made it clear this isn't negotiable. I don't think limited access is an option. At 10 a.m., Matteo arrived with a BMW. He handed Paige the keys, then hesitated. Mr. Calabrese wanted me to apologize. For making you uncomfortable last week. With the photos. It's fine. It's not. I overstepped. Matteo looked genuinely sorry. For what it's worth, the boss tore me apart for it. Made it very clear that you're to be treated with respect. So, you have my word. Professional from here on out. After Matteo left, Paige felt slightly better. At least Vito was keeping his people in line. That evening, Vito called. Did you get my delivery? Paige looked at the envelope Matteo had left. She hadn't opened it yet. Yes. Open it. She did. Inside was a check. For $50,000. And a note in neat handwriting, 8 years of child support. It's not enough, but it's a start. More will come. V. Paige stared at the check. $50,000. That was a year of Neve's expenses. That was the new roof and the equipment upgrade and security for both. But it also felt like guilt money. I can't accept this. You can and you will. I've missed 7 years of financial responsibility. This is me catching up. Vito. It's already deposited in an account under your name. You don't have to use it now, but it's there. For Neve. For whatever she needs. He paused. There's also a college fund. I set it up this morning. It'll be fully funded by the time she's 18. Paige didn't know what to say. Can I ask you something? Vito's voice softened. What? What does she like? What should I know about her before I meet her properly? Paige sat down on her couch, phone pressed to her ear, and told him about Neve. Her favorite color, orange, her favorite food, grilled cheese cut into triangles, her favorite book, a space encyclopedia she'd read 17 times. Vito listened to everything. When Paige finally stopped talking, he said quietly, "Thank you. For telling me. You're her father. You should know these things." Yeah, I should. He paused. Paige, there's something else you need to know. Her stomach dropped. What? My uncle found out about you. About Neve. How? Someone talked. One of his people saw me at the shop, put it together. Vito's voice was tense. He called me this morning. Congratulated me on the daughter I didn't know I had. Asked when he could meet her. What did you tell him? I told him to stay the hell away from both of you. That if he or any of his people come near you, there will be consequences. What kind of consequences? The kind he understands. Vito paused. But Paige, you need to be careful. My uncle is unpredictable. He's facing federal charges, he's desperate, and desperate men do stupid things. If anyone you don't recognize approaches you or Neve, call me immediately. Don't engage, don't be polite, just call me. You're scaring me. Good. You should be scared. Not terrified, but aware. His voice softened. I've already increased security around your building and the shop. I have people watching Neve's school. You won't see them, but they're there. If anything feels off, they'll handle it. Vito, this is insane. This is exactly why I didn't want to. I know. But we don't get to rewind time. We're here now. And I will protect my daughter. Whatever it takes. After they hung up, Paige realized she'd just accepted that her life now included security details and threats from organized crime figures. This was her reality now. Friday evening, Paige sat Neve down. "Baby, I need to talk to you about something important." Neve looked up from her coloring book, immediately serious. "Am I in trouble?" "No. Nothing like that." Paige sat next to her on the floor. "Remember how you've asked about your dad before?" Neve nodded slowly. "Well, I found him. Or he found us. It's complicated. But the important thing is, he didn't know about you. He wanted to, but he didn't know. And now he does." Neve's eyes went wide. "My dad knows about me?" "Yes." "Does he want to meet me?" "Very much." Neve was quiet for a moment, processing with her whole face the way she always did. "Is he nice?" "I think so. I knew him a long time ago, and he was nice then." "What's his name?" "Vito." Neve's face changed. Recognition. Like the man from the shop. The one who was looking at me. Paige's heart squeezed. Of course Neve had noticed. Of course she'd put it together. Yes. That was him. "Why didn't you tell me then?" "Because I wanted to talk to you first. Make sure you were okay with meeting him before we made it official." Neve thought about this seriously. "What if I don't like him?" "Then we figure it out. But I think you should give him a chance. He really wants to know you." "Does he know I like space?" "I told him. He thought that was cool." Neve smiled a little. "Okay. I'll meet him." Yeah. But Mom." "What, baby?" "If he's mean or boring, can we leave?" Paige laughed. "Absolutely. Deal." They shook on it, Neve's small hand in hers, and Paige felt the weight of 7 years shift into something new. Saturday afternoon, Paige texted Vito. "Neve knows. She wants to meet you. Tomorrow at the park, 2 p.m. His response came immediately. "I'll be there. Thank you. Come alone. No security visible. I don't want her scared." "They'll be there. But at a distance. She won't see them." Sunday at 2 p.m., Paige and Neve stood by the swings at the park. Neve was nervous, Paige could tell. She kept adjusting her jacket, checking the time on Paige's phone. "What if he doesn't come?" Neve asked. "He'll come." "How do you know?" "Because he promised. And I think he keeps his promises." At 2:03, Vito appeared. Jeans, a sweater, looking more nervous than Paige had ever seen him. He walked over slowly. "Hi, Neve." "Hi, Vito." They stood there awkwardly. Paige stepped back, let them figure it out. Finally Neve said, "Do you actually want to meet me or did my mom make you come?" Vito laughed, surprised. "I actually want to meet you. Very much." "Okay. Do you like swings?" "I haven't been on a swing in 20 years. "Then you're doing it wrong. Come on." Neve grabbed his hand and pulled him toward the swings. Paige watched them. Neve showing him how to pump his legs, laughing when he went too high, asking him questions about everything. Vito answering carefully, listening to her chatter, looking at her like she was the most important person in the world. In the distance, Paige spotted them. 2 men, casual clothes, sitting on a bench reading newspapers. Not reading. Watching. Vito's security. After an hour, Neve ran back to Paige. "Mom, can Vito come over for dinner sometime?" Paige looked at Vito. He was watching them, waiting. "Maybe," Paige said. "We'll see." "That means yes," Neve told Vito confidently. He smiled. "I hope so." When they left, Neve talked the entire drive home about Vito. About how he knew facts about Saturn. About how he promised to bring her a book about constellations. About how he said she could call him whenever she wanted. Paige listened, heart full and breaking at the same time. That night, Vito texted her. "Thank you for today. She's incredible." "I know. I meant what I said. I want to be part of her life. Whatever that looks like." Paige stared at the message. This was real now. This was happening. "Okay. We'll figure it out." One more thing. What? I need to tell Camille. Soon. Before she finds out another way. Paige's stomach dropped. When? Tomorrow. I can't keep this from her any longer. Okay. Let me know how it goes. But she already knew how it would go. Camille Calabrese was about to find out her husband had a 7-year-old daughter. And if Vito's family was dangerous, Camille was about to become the most dangerous person in Paige's life. Vito told Camille on Monday evening. Paige knew because he called her at 9 p.m., his voice tight. It's done. She knows. How did she take it? About as well as you'd expect when you tell your wife you have a secret child. He sounded exhausted. She's angry. She has every right to be. Is she going to cause problems? I don't know yet. She's processing. But Paige, you need to be prepared. Camille is strategic. If she decides you're a threat to our life, our reputation, she'll handle it her way. Meaning what? Meaning she has her own resources. Her own connections. Her family isn't as deep in the business as mine, but they're connected. They have influence. Another pause. I'll try to keep her away from you as long as I can. But she's going to want answers eventually. After hanging up, Paige sat on her couch feeling sick. She'd known this was coming. Known that telling Vito meant dealing with his wife. But knowing it and living it were different things. The next morning, Paige got a call from Neve's school. Ms. Harlow, this is Principal Edwards. We need to talk about an incident this morning. Paige's heart stopped. Is Neve okay? She's fine. But a woman came to the school this morning asking questions about her. About her enrollment, her schedule, who picks her up. Our front desk followed protocol and didn't give out any information, but I wanted you to be aware. What did this woman look like? Blonde, well-dressed, very polite. She said she was a family friend conducting a background check for a scholarship program. Camille. Thank you for calling. If she comes back, don't engage with her. Call me immediately. After hanging up, Paige called Vito. Your wife went to Neve's school this morning. Vito swore viciously. What did she do? Asked questions. The school didn't tell her anything, but Vito, she's investigating us. I'll handle it. How? By reminding her that Neve is off limits. That if she wants to be angry, she can be angry at me. But she doesn't get to go near my daughter. She's your wife. She has more access to you than I do. More power. How are you going to stop her? Trust me. I'll handle it. His voice went cold. Camille knows the rules. She knows there are lines you don't cross in this family. Going after a child is one of them. 2 hours later, Paige's phone rang. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Then something made her pick up. Ms. Harlow, this is Camille Calabrese. I think we should meet. Paige's grip tightened on the phone. I don't think that's a good idea. I'm not asking. I'm at the coffee shop 2 blocks from your shop. I'll be here for the next hour. If you don't show up, I'll come to you. The line went dead. Paige told Denny she was stepping out, then walked to the coffee shop with her heart pounding. Camille was sitting at a corner table, 2 cups of coffee already ordered. She looked perfect. Tailored suit, expensive jewelry, the kind of woman who belonged in boardrooms and charity galas. Not in a neighborhood coffee shop on the west side. Sit, Camille said. Not a request. Paige sat. They looked at each other across the small table. 2 women on opposite sides of a situation neither of them had chosen. Let me be very clear, Camille said, her voice cool and controlled. I'm not here to make a scene. I'm here because I need to understand the situation. My husband has a child I knew nothing about. That child's mother works for us. And apparently, everyone knew except me. I didn't know you'd hired me until after I signed the contract. Convenient. It's the truth. Camille's smile didn't reach her eyes. I'm sure it is. Let me tell you some truths of my own. Vito and I have been married for 9 years. You got pregnant 8 years ago. Do the math, Ms. Harlow. I already did the math. Vito told me about the overlap. Did he? Did he tell you that our engagement was arranged by our families? That our marriage was a business merger as much as a personal one? Camille leaned forward. Did he tell you he was sleeping with you while wearing my engagement ring? Paige's stomach turned. No, I didn't think so. Camille sat back. I'm not angry at you. You didn't know. But I need you to understand something. Vito is not just some businessman with a complicated family. He's the heir to an empire. And that empire has rules, expectations, consequences. He told me he's trying to go legitimate. He's been trying to go legitimate for 5 years. It hasn't worked. It won't work. Because you can't just walk away from this life. Not when your last name is Calabrese. Camille's voice hardened. And now you've tied yourself to that name. You and your daughter. Neve is his daughter too. I know. Which is why I'm here. Camille pulled out a folder, slid it across the table. This is what the FBI has on Vito. On his family. On his business dealings. Paige opened the folder. Her hands shook. Photos. Surveillance logs. Financial records. Wiretap transcripts. All labeled with case numbers and dates. How did you get this? I have friends in useful places. People who owe me favors. Camille's expression didn't change. Vito's uncle is going down. Federal indictment coming within weeks. Money laundering, racketeering, conspiracy. When that happens, everyone connected to the family is going to be under investigation. Including Vito. Including you. I haven't done anything illegal. You work for a company under federal investigation. You're the mother of Vito Calabrese's child. That makes you a person of interest. Camille closed the folder. The FBI will come to you. They'll ask questions. They'll pressure you to cooperate. To provide information about Vito, about his finances, about his activities. I don't know anything about his activities. They don't know that. All they know is you're close to him. That gives you value. Camille leaned forward. So here's what's going to happen. You and I are going to work together. We're going to control this narrative before it controls us. Why would you help me? Because if you go down, Vito's daughter goes down with you. And despite everything, I don't want to see a child hurt by this mess. Camille's voice softened slightly. I never wanted children. Vito knew that when we married. It was part of our arrangement. But that doesn't mean I want to see his child dragged through federal investigations and media circuses. Paige stared at her. This woman who'd threatened her, who'd gone to Neve's school, who was now offering to help. What do you want in exchange? Cooperation. When the FBI comes, you tell them nothing about Vito's business. You plead ignorance. You're just a mechanic who happened to service his cars and happened to have his child years ago. You know nothing about his financial dealings or his family connections. That's the truth. Good. Stick to it. Camille pulled a card from her purse. This is my attorney. When the FBI contacts you, call him immediately. He'll represent you. Free of charge. Why would your attorney help me? Because I'm paying him to. And because keeping you out of trouble keeps Neve out of trouble. Which is what we both want. Paige took the card. And in exchange for this help. You don't push Vito to leave me. Not yet. Not while his uncle's case is active and the family is under scrutiny. Camille's voice was firm. A divorce right now looks suspicious. Looks like Vito is trying to protect assets or distance himself from something. We need to present a united front until this investigation is over. He's already told me he wants to be with us. With Neve. He can want whatever he wants. But divorcing me in the middle of a federal investigation is stupid. And Vito, despite his many flaws, is not stupid. Camille stood up. Think about it. You have 48 hours to decide. Work with me, or deal with the FBI alone. She left. Paige sat at the table, staring at the attorney's card, feeling the walls close in. That night, she told Vito about the meeting. He was quiet for a long moment. Then, did she threaten you? Not exactly. She offered to help. in exchange for keeping our relationship quiet until the investigation is over. What did you say? I didn't say anything. I wanted to talk to you first. Paige paused. Vito, is what she said true? About the FBI investigation. Yes. My uncle's indictment is coming. Could be days, could be weeks. When it drops, everyone in the family gets scrutinized. Including you? Including me. I've been cooperating with the FBI for 6 months, giving them what they need to take down my uncle's operation while keeping my legitimate businesses clean. But it's complicated. There's overlap. Shared accounts, shared properties. Things that look suspicious even when they're legal. Are they legal? Mostly. Some gray areas. Nothing that will get me charged, but enough to raise questions. He sighed. Camille's right about one thing. A divorce right now looks bad. Looks like I'm trying to hide assets or distance myself from her family's involvement. So what do? We wait. I hate it, but we wait. I'll still see Neve. I'll still be part of her life. But publicly, Camille and I stay married until this investigation concludes. His voice went hard. But Paige, if she threatens you again, if she goes near Neve's school again, the deal is off. I don't care how it looks. She said she won't. Said she wants to protect Neve too. Camille says a lot of things. Don't trust her completely. Use her resources, take her help, but don't forget who she is. Who is she? The daughter of a man who runs half the construction unions in Chicago. Someone who's been navigating this world her entire life. Someone who knows how to survive. Vito paused. She's dangerous in her own way. Different from my family, but dangerous. After they hung up, Paige lay in bed staring at the ceiling. 2 weeks ago, her biggest problem was paying rent. Now she was caught between a federal investigation, a powerful wife, and a man who ran an empire he couldn't escape. Wednesday morning, federal agents came to the shop. 2 men in suits, badges already out. Ms. Harlow? I'm Agent Richards. This is Agent Co. We're with the FBI. We'd like to ask you a few questions about your business relationship with Calabrese Enterprises. Paige's mouth went dry. Am I under investigation? No, ma'am. We're just gathering information. It'll only take a few minutes. She called Camille's attorney before answering anything. He showed up within 20 minutes, expensive suit, expensive briefcase, the kind of lawyer who made federal agents uncomfortable. My client will answer basic questions about her professional services. Nothing beyond that. The interview lasted 15 minutes. They asked about the contract, about what services she provided, about how often she saw Vito. She answered carefully. Stuck to facts. Pleaded ignorance about anything related to his business dealings. Do you have a personal relationship with Mr. Calabrese? Agent Richards asked. The attorney cut in. That's not relevant to your investigation. We'll decide what's relevant. No, you won't. My client is a private contractor providing automotive services. Her personal life is none of your concern unless you have evidence of criminal activity. Do you? The agents exchanged looks. No. Then we're done here. After they left, the attorney turned to Paige. You did well. Didn't volunteer anything, didn't lie, didn't give them ammunition. If they come back, call me first. Don't answer anything without me present. How much do I owe you? Mrs. Calabrese is covering my fees. You don't owe anything. He handed her his card. Save my number. You'll probably need it again. That night, Paige picked Neve up from school and took her for ice cream. Mom, why are you being weird? Neve asked, swirling her spoon in chocolate chip. I'm not being weird. You've been weird all week. Since Vito came over. Neve studied her face. Did something bad happen? No, baby. Just grown-up stuff. Is it about Vito? Partly. Do you not want me to see him anymore? What? No. Of course you can see him. Paige took her hand. Neve, I want you to know something. No matter what happens with the grown-up stuff, Vito loves you. He's your dad. That's not going to change. But something is happening. With the grown-up stuff. Smart kid. Too smart. Yes. But it's nothing for you to worry about. I promise. Neve didn't look convinced, but she let it go. That night, after Neve was asleep, Vito called. I heard the FBI came to the shop. Your wife's attorney handled it. They asked basic questions. I gave basic answers. It was fine. Good. He paused. Paige, things are going to get worse before they get better. My uncle's indictment drops Friday. When it does, the media is going to swarm. They're going to dig into everyone connected to him. Including me. Including you. What do I do? Say nothing. Don't talk to reporters. Don't confirm or deny anything. Refer them to Camille's attorney. His voice was strained. And keep Neve away from school for a few days. I don't want reporters trying to talk to her. Vito, this is insane. I know. And I'm sorry. I never wanted to drag you into this. He was quiet for a moment. If you want to walk away, I'll understand. I'll still support Neve, I'll still be her father, but you don't have to be part of this mess. Paige thought about it. Really thought about it. She could walk away. Keep her distance. Let Vito see Neve but maintain boundaries that protected her from his world. But then she thought about Neve's face when she talked about her dad. About how happy she'd been at the park. About how she'd finally found the piece of her life that had been missing. I'm not walking away, Paige said. But Vito, you need to protect her. Whatever it takes. I don't care about me, but Neve stays out of this. I swear to you, I will protect her with everything I have. Friday morning, the news broke. Federal indictment, Vito Calabrese charged with racketeering. The story was everywhere. News vans outside Calabrese properties. Reporters at the courthouse. Photos of Vito being led away in handcuffs. And buried in the coverage, family ties under scrutiny, nephew Vito Calabrese's business empire raises questions. Paige's phone started ringing. Unknown numbers, all reporters. She didn't answer any of them. By noon, they were outside her shop. Cameras, microphones, people shouting questions. Ms. Harlow, can you comment on your relationship with Vito Calabrese? Is it true you have his child? Did you know about the family's criminal activities? Paige locked the shop and went home. Found reporters outside her building too. She called Vito. They're everywhere. I can't even leave my apartment. I'm sending security. They'll clear the reporters and make sure you can get in and out safely. His voice was tight with anger. This is exactly what I was afraid of. An hour later, 3 men in suits showed up. Vito's people. They formed a barrier between Paige's building and the reporters, made it clear that anyone who crossed the line would be dealt with. The reporters backed off. Slightly. That evening, Camille called. We need to do damage control. Together. I'm not doing an interview. Not an interview. A statement. Carefully worded, sympathetic, that shuts down the worst of the speculation. Camille's voice was all business. You're a single mother who happened to service Vito's vehicles and happened to reconnect with him years after a brief relationship. You know nothing about his family business. You're focused on protecting your daughter from media attention. That's the truth. Good. My PR team will draft something. You approve it, we release it, the story shifts. Why are you helping me? Because right now, you're the story. Secret love child of Mafia heir. That's what they're running with. And the more they dig into you, the more they dig into Vito, the more damage it does to everyone. Camille paused. I want this investigation over. I want my life back. Helping you helps me. The statement went out Saturday morning. Local mechanic asks for privacy amid media scrutiny. It was perfect. Sympathetic without being defensive. Clear without giving away too much. The media attention didn't stop, but it shifted. Less aggressive. More respectful. By Monday, most of the reporters were gone. Paige took Neve back to school. Vito's security followed at a distance, making sure no one bothered them. That afternoon, Vito showed up at the shop. He looked exhausted, like he hadn't slept in days. Are you okay? Paige asked. No, but I'm managing. He ran a hand through his hair. My uncle's lawyer is trying to drag me into his defense, claiming I was involved in his operations, that I benefited from his schemes. It's bullshit, but it's going to make things messier. Can he do that? He can try. The FBI knows I've been cooperating. They know I'm not part of his operation. But it still creates noise. Still raises questions. He looked at her. Paige, I need to ask you something. What? If this gets worse, if my uncle's lawyers subpoena you, if you have to testify about our relationship or about the business, will you tell the truth? Of course. Even if it hurts me? The truth won't hurt you. You said you're not involved in his operation. I'm not. But there are things, gray areas. Decisions I made years ago that could be misinterpreted. Relationships with people who turned out to be problematic. He met her eyes. I need to know you'll tell the truth, but I also need to know you won't volunteer information they're not asking for. Vito, what are you asking me to do? Be honest. But be careful. Don't let them twist your words into something they're not. Paige studied his face. This man who'd brought danger into her life. Who was also trying desperately to protect her from it. I'll tell the truth. Carefully. With Camille's attorney present. She paused. But Vito, if they ask about Neve, if they try to bring her into this, all bets are off. I will protect my daughter above everything else. Our daughter. Right. Our daughter. I wouldn't expect anything less. He stepped closer. Thank you. For not running. For staying. Don't thank me yet. This isn't over. No. It's not. He pulled out his phone. But there's something else we need to talk about. Something good. What? Neve's birthday is in 2 weeks. I want to do something for it. Something special. Paige had completely forgotten about Neve's birthday in the chaos of everything else. She's turning 8. She'll want a party with her friends. Then we'll throw her the best party she's ever had. Vito smiled, the first real smile she'd seen from him in days. Let me do this. Let me be her dad for her birthday. Okay. We'll plan something together. Together. I like the sound of that. After he left, Paige realized something. Despite the FBI investigation, despite the media circus, despite Camille and the danger and all of it, they were building something. A family. Messy and complicated and dangerous. But a family. Neve's birthday party was supposed to be simple. Cake, pizza, 10 kids from school, balloons at the community center. Vito had other ideas. He rented out an entire section of the Museum of Science and Industry. Private planetarium show. Space-themed everything. A cake shaped like Saturn with actual rotating rings. This is too much, Paige said when she saw the setup. It's her first birthday with me. I'm allowed to go overboard. Vito was setting up the gift table himself, refusing help from the staff. Besides, she's 8. She deserves something special. Neve walked in and stopped dead. Her mouth fell open. Is this all for me? All for you, Vito said. She ran to him, threw her arms around his waist. This is the best birthday ever. He looked at Paige over Neve's head, eyes wet. Mouthed thank you. The party was perfect. Kids screaming with joy, parents impressed but not asking too many questions about who Vito was or why he'd thrown such an elaborate party. When it came time for cake, Neve stood up on her chair. I want to say something. She waited until everyone was quiet. This is my first birthday with my dad. He didn't know about me before, but now he does, and I'm really happy he's here. The room went silent. Parents exchanged glances. Kids looked confused. Neve didn't care. She looked at Vito. Thanks for the best party, Dad. Dad. She'd called him Dad. Vito stood up, walked over, lifted her off the chair into a hug. You're welcome, sweetheart. Happy birthday. Later, after the kids left and the museum staff was cleaning up, the three of them sat in the empty planetarium watching the star show. Neve was between them, head on Paige's shoulder, holding Vito's hand. "Can we do this every year?" she asked sleepily. "Every year," Vito promised. "I'm not missing another birthday." Neve fell asleep during the show. Vito carried her to the car, carefully, like she was made of glass. At Paige's building, he walked them up, despite his security's protests about clearing the area first. "I can carry her," Paige said. "I got her." He laid Neve in her bed, pulled the blanket over her, stood there watching her sleep. "I missed so much," he said quietly. "You're here now. That's what matters." He turned to Paige. "I need to tell you something." "What?" "My uncle took a plea deal. 20 years. He's going away, and he's giving up everyone else in his operation to reduce his sentence." Vito's voice was rough. "The investigation is closing. FBI confirmed I'm not a target. It's over." "It's really over?" "The criminal part, yes. There'll still be civil suits, asset seizures, media attention. But the threat is gone. Severio can't hurt us anymore." Paige felt tears sting her eyes. "So what now?" "Now I file for divorce. Now Camille and I can finally end this marriage that should have ended years ago." He stepped closer. "Now I can actually be with you. If you want that." "Vito, your life is still complicated. You're still connected to things I don't fully understand. Your world is still dangerous." "I know. And I'm not asking you to dive into that world. I'm asking if you'll let me be part of yours." He took her hands. "I love you. I never stopped. And I love our daughter. I want to be a family. A real family." Paige looked at him. This man who'd broken her heart 8 years ago. Who'd brought danger and chaos into her carefully built life. Who'd also shown up every single day for the past 3 months. Who'd protected them, provided for them, loved their daughter fiercely. Who was asking for a second chance. "One condition," she said. "Name it. You keep transitioning the business to legitimate. No more gray areas. No more decisions that could blow up in our faces. If we're doing this, if we're building a family, I need to know you're really leaving that world behind." "I can do that. I am doing that. It'll take time, but I swear to you I'm getting out." He squeezed her hands. "Anything else?" "Neve comes first. Always. Before business, before your family obligations, before everything. She's the priority. She's already my priority. Has been since the moment I found out she existed." "Then okay. We can try this." He kissed her. Soft at first, then deeper. 8 years of missing each other, 8 years of what-ifs and maybes, all folding into this moment. When they pulled apart, he rested his forehead against hers. "I'm going to do this right. I'm going to be the father she deserves. The man you deserve. You better." 3 months later, Vito's divorce was finalized. Camille sent Paige a single text: "Take care of him. And that little girl. They deserve it." Paige sent back, "Thank you. For everything." It wasn't friendship. But it was respect. And that was enough. 6 months later, Vito moved into a house on the north side. Big enough for all of them, with a yard for Neve to play in and a garage where Paige could work on her personal projects. "Are we moving in with him?" Neve asked when Paige told her about it. "Do you want to?" Neve thought about it seriously. "Will I have my own room?" "Your own room with a space theme. Vito's already planning it." "Then yes. Let's move in." It wasn't perfect. Vito still had business obligations that took him away sometimes. Still had family members who questioned his choices. Still had a reputation that followed him. But he showed up for Neve's school plays. Taught her Italian. Took her to museums and parks and anywhere she wanted to go. He showed up for Paige too. Fixed things around the house. Brought her coffee in the morning. Listened when she talked about the shop. Became part of their routine. Part of their family. 1 year after Vito walked back into their lives, Paige stood in her shop watching him teach Neve how to change a tire. "No, like this. You have to get under the leverage point." "I am under it." "You're close. Here, let me show you." Neve laughed, trying again, determined to get it right. Denny walked over to Paige. Never thought I'd see the day. Vito Calabrese teaching his daughter auto mechanics in your shop. Neither did I. You happy? Paige watched them. Watched Vito cheer when Neve finally got the tire off. Watched Neve's face light up with pride. Yes, she said. I really am. That night, after Neve was asleep, Vito found Paige in the kitchen. I have something for you. He handed her a small box. Inside was a key. What's this? The deed to your shop. I'm signing over my share. Harlow Auto is yours. Fully yours. No strings, no contracts, no complications. He smiled. You built that place. It should be yours. Vito, you invested so much money. Consider it child support. 8 years' worth. He closed her hands around the key. I don't want to own your business. I want to support it. There's a difference. She kissed him. Thank you. There's one more thing. He pulled out another box. Smaller. Paige's heart stopped. I know we're taking things slow. I know we're still figuring this out. But Paige, I want forever with you. I want to marry you, build a life with you, be a family with you and Neve. He opened the box. A ring. Simple, beautiful. Will you marry me? Paige looked at the ring. Looked at him. This man who'd come back into her life and turned everything upside down. This man who'd become everything she needed. Yes. He slid the ring on her finger, kissed her, and for the first time in 8 years, everything felt right. Later, they told Neve together. She looked at the ring, looked at them, then smiled. Does this mean Vito's staying forever? Forever, Vito confirmed. Good. I like him. She went back to her book, completely unfazed by the fact that her entire family structure had just changed. Paige and Vito looked at each other and laughed. Some things were just that simple. Their wedding was small. Immediate family only. Neve as the flower girl, wearing orange because she insisted. Vito's father Antonio walked Paige down the aisle, tears in his eyes. You gave me a granddaughter. You brought my son back to life. Thank you. Camille sent flowers. Expensive, tasteful, with a card that read, Congratulations. You won. Paige didn't feel like she'd won anything. Felt like they'd all just survived. And survival was enough. 1 year later, Paige stood in the garage of their home, working on a classic Mustang while Neve did homework at the workbench. Vito came home early, which never happened. Why are you home? Paige asked. Closed the last deal. Sold the final piece of my uncle's old operation. We're completely legitimate now. Everything clean, everything legal. He looked exhausted but relieved. It's done. Paige set down her wrench, walked over, hugged him. I'm proud of you. Couldn't have done it without you. Without this. He gestured around. A reason to want something better. Neve looked up from her homework. Does this mean you're not busy all the time anymore? It means I'm going to try to be around more. Be a better dad. You're already a good dad. Neve went back to her math. But yeah, being around more would be cool. That night, after Neve was asleep, Paige and Vito sat on their back porch, watching the stars. Do you regret it? Vito asked. Taking me back? Letting me into your life. Some days. When things get complicated. When your family drama bleeds into our world. She leaned against him. But no. I don't regret it. You're a pain in the ass, but you're my pain in the ass. He laughed. Romantic. I'm a mechanic, not a poet. You're perfect. He kissed the top of her head. Thank you for giving me a second chance. For giving us a chance. Thank you for showing up. For staying. They sat in comfortable silence, the kind that came from knowing each other completely. Inside, Neve slept peacefully. Safe, loved, surrounded by family. Outside, the stars shone bright. And for the first time in 8 years, everything was exactly as it should be. And that's where we'll leave Paige, Vito, and Neve for now. A family built from secrets, surviving in a world of danger and federal investigations. If you enjoyed this story, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, does Vito's uncle try to use Neve as leverage? Does Camille truly help them, or does she have her own agenda? I want to hear your theories. Don't forget to subscribe to Honeybee Mafia Tales for more intense mafia romance stories. I post new stories regularly, so there's always something dramatic waiting for you. Thanks for staying till the end, and I'll see you in the next one.